and even more what they sacrifice to become a martial arts school owner. Okay, I mean, that's very noble to be impacted by something so powerfully that you want to transcend that into your community. Okay, I mean, that's powerful. But the challenge with that is what passion industries are charity projects. You know, we don't do it for money, we do it for passion. And that's where the challenge lies, because we believe in our passion so much, we leave making money secondary, but money provides livelihood. Money provides how we live life. Money provides lifestyle. And of course, as human beings, especially if you're a family man with children, you want to provide nothing but the best for your family. Okay, that's the objective. So that can be accomplished in martial arts. Matter of fact, in martial arts industry, you can be that 1% of the population. And that 1% of the population, I believe, it's an income of like several hundred thousand or more, like 300,000, something like that. That can be very easily accomplished in the martial arts industry. And I'm very proud to say I've done that most of my life. I've done that most of my life. And I have learned there is a scientific approach to doing that. And one of the things that we have to understand, that business is everlasting evolving. It's constantly evolving, especially technology, especially marketing. Marketing is the one of the four legs in the table of a business, okay? And we know what a three-legged table looks like, odd, and we know a two-legged table falls straight to the ground and it doesn't serve its purpose, okay? So we have to have four strong legs in order to function properly, and one of them is marketing. In this day and age, it's digital marketing, okay? I mean, simply to put it, digital marketing is a must. How many of you remember the yellow pages back in the days? Hands up. How many remember the yellow pages? It's a big, thick yellow book, right? How many of you had your school long enough where you advertised in the yellow pages? Hands up. You know, I remember my late father, Grandmaster Cheong Park. One thing, you know, he did in martial art business, make sure that ad in the yellow page ad was renewed every November. Okay, it's a dollar size ad. And I remember it was expensive. Okay, it was expensive. It was at $500-600. Okay, now the yellow page is no longer, which is not true. But let me ask you a question. If internet never happened, that yellow pages existed today, that same ad would be double or triple the cost. How many of you agree with that? That same ad will probably be like $1,000, $1,200. Okay, but that yellow page ad got sucked into the internet. But if it did not, and that same yellow page ad existed, every single one of you guys would be spending the $1,000 to $1,500 a month. Make sure the yellow page ad, that dollar size ad, is in there. How many of you agree? Okay, let me ask you something. How many of you are spending at least $1,500 a month in the modern day yellow pages, which is in digital marketing? Not many of us. So you need to get yourself an immediate mindset. Heck, if I'm not spending at least $1,000 to a couple $1,000 a month on digital World Wide Web marketing, you're behind the eight ball, completely behind the eight ball. All right. So listen, I want to show you my funnel, as I promised. Okay, there are 8 funnels to our system. Number 1 is lead. Okay. Number two is the offer. Okay. And number 3, after the offer, we want them to set the appointment. Okay? After they set the appointment, we want them to show up. Okay? After they show up, we want them to enroll. Enroll. Okay? After they enroll, we want them to attend classes. And if they attend classes, we want them to upgrade. Okay? And if they upgrade, they're happy. And happy people, we need to demand referral. Okay? So I call this the infinity system, infinity success system. Why? Because these 8 things must happen. Okay? Now, first several, lead, offer is the most important. Why? Because that is the most widest point of the funnel. And then it narrows down. That's why it's called a funnel. So you and I remember back in the early days when people said funnel to me, I'm like, what are you talking about? Funnel, what funnel, my funnel, this funnel. I have the greatest funnel. I'm like, what is the funnel? And I come to understand it's what goes from the top all the way to the bottom. So the top of the funnel is generating lead. Okay, generating lead. The challenge with Yellow Pages is become technological. When something becomes technological, there's something called the algorithm. And when something is algorithmic, you have to figure out what that means. Not only do you have to figure out what it means, you have to learn how to control it. You have to learn manipulating it. And that's where the challenge is. We can't do that. We can't do that as school owner. I've tried. And what sucks is always constantly changing. They're constantly, Google's changing stuff all the time. Facebook is changing stuff all the time. Instagram is changing stuff all the time. YouTube, TikTok, they're constantly changing their algorithm. Why? Because that's how they make money. If you got the algorithm figured out how to advertise perfectly in their platform, it's not to their advantage. So they have these freaking super coders that's always changing the algorithm, and you have to keep up with it. And as a business owner, you just cannot. Okay? So it's important to hire an expert to do this. And I've been very fortunate because I've been using Mama, Martial Arts Marketing Agency, Logan. Before that, I gotta tell you, man, I tried everything. I've had a parent who hold their own company, web builder had their own company. I mean, I tried everybody, okay? And the results I produced with Logan has just been phenomenal. I mean, especially we started working really close, a couple of years before the pandemic. Oh boy, if it wasn't for him during the pandemic, I wouldn't know what to do, okay? So number one thing, hire a professional marketer that will generate a lead. And don't do this. Don't hire a digital marketing company and just expect that they're gonna do everything, okay? That's the mindset I had in the beginning. It would work for a little bit and that will work out and then jump ship, which is also the wrong thing to have. That Yellow Page ad is something you're going to renew every year if it still existed. Marketing to a school owner's mind, we want immediate gratification. And the problem is that's the wrong mindset to have. You need to understand that marketing is an ongoing campaign. It is a living organism inside your school that will be forever there, and don't take it away. So, when I hear school owners say, yeah, I stopped doing that. Yeah, I stopped doing that. It doesn't make sense. I remember back in the days, like I would run that full page ad in this beautiful community magazine, even on the inside cover. And maybe I got a handful of phone calls, and I would get so frustrated because that inside page ad was like $1,500. And I'd be like, why did I get phone calls? It's not about that. Number one, if you're trying to market to get immediate results, it's the wrong mindset to have. It's a campaign. You have to create brand awareness. That's your primary objective. Brand awareness is something that does not happen overnight. It's something that happens over a long period of time. I'm very proud to say my schools, Parks Taekwondo here in South Florida, we've been here for 4 decades. And we've become a brand. We've become a brand. When you say Parks, the karate schools, Taekwondo, people know it. That took 4 decades to build. 4 decades of consistent marketing in the community. So whenever you have an opportunity to highlight your business in the community, do it. Like, for example, my sister owns one of the Park schools, and recently, Cinco de Mayo, this franchise called Lemon or Lime that serves Mexican food, asked us to say, hey, we're sponsoring like a 5K mile. Can you just come out and have your booth there? And my sister knew that she was going to get minimal results. But a couple hundred people showed up to do 5K like 5 o'clock in the morning. And it started at 6. So she got up at 5:30 in the morning, put up a little table for like 3 hours, and she got one trial from it. But it had an opportunity for her to expose the brand to several hundred people in a period of a couple of hours. So that's kind of like the mindset you got to have, not to go get leads and sign up people, but for consistent brand awareness. Do you think McDonald's advertise to sell more burgers? No. They spend millions of dollars to make themselves present with their brand. Okay? Brand awareness. All right. So that's the most important thing. Now, this is where I'm going to let Logan take over a little bit, because in order to create lead, you got to have an ad. You got to have an ad, and you got to have an offer. And this is where you're going to have to basically tell your digital marketer what your offer is. Okay? Because your offer is the initial hook that will get them to hit and click on your ad. Okay? And the offer constantly changes. We've done like 6 weeks, we've done 8 weeks, we've done free class. Okay, we've done, so the offer that's been working really well for us has been 4 weeks, includes a martial arts t-shirt for $49. That's the hook, but we don't really sign them up for that. We can talk about that later. But here, Logan, why don't you go from the top of the funnel, how the ads are set up, and the impacts of how the ads are set up also.
Yeah, sure. So I wish there was like one bullet offer that I could just give everybody. As GMP said, he has done all sorts of offers under the sun. In his market specifically, actually, so he has 2 schools on the same road, 5 miles apart, Wiles Road. 2 completely different results with the same offer. The lead costs are much more expensive in one typically than they are in the other. It's been that way for years. And so what works in one area isn't necessarily going to work in another. And so I see in the Facebook groups often that people will ask, well, what offer is working? And that's okay to get the idea of all the different types of offers that are out there, but you just can't go into, you can see 10 people say, well, we do 30 days for free. And they go, well, I'm going to do 30 days for free. That's the best offer. It just doesn't work that way. Every single market is different. And so you have to, this is something that GMP and our team has tested multiple different times. We have failed at times with different offers, and that's okay. It's okay to find out, well, this isn't going to work for me right now. Let's try something else. And what we measure to determine the success or failure of an offer in many cases is the cost per lead. Okay, so if the cost per lead is too high or higher than where you need it to be, or you're not getting enough leads, you have to spend enough money, as GMP talked about earlier. You can't just spend $100 and go, oh, I didn't get enough leads. You have to have enough budget there. Okay, so you have to put some money behind it. But if your cost per lead is higher than what you think it needs to be, right now, our average cost per lead across, let me go to my dashboard here, across 133 martial arts locations, our average cost per lead right now is $22.94.
Now, Logan dove right in and went for the jugular. I want to talk to you guys about something, what he's talking about, expanding on it. How many of you watch Shark Tank once in a while? Shark Tank. How many of you see Shark Tank? One of the most important questions when a shark is interested in wanting to be part of that company they're getting pitched at, they always ask this question: what's your customer acquisition cost? Okay. How much are you paying to acquire a customer? That is very, very important. And this is something that you have to really understand. How many of you, if I told you, spend $50 and you'll get a brand new student, I guarantee you, I tell you what, give me $50, okay, per student, and I'll give you new student offers. How many of you do that? How many of you would pay $50, $75, even $100 for a new student, guaranteed? Okay, of course, my tuition is $189, and I'll be happy to give 50% of that to enroll, because after they enroll, I know there's also a journey, okay, powerful journey, because that $100 is going to turn into thousands of dollars. So you have to pay attention to that, what your acquisition cost is, how much each student. Now, why is that important? Because that fluctuates, okay? And this is one of the things that makes Logan so unique from the other digital marketing companies, because we literally have a weekly meeting either with Logan or with our rep. And we will literally go over the statistics, okay? I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to make this too long either. And these statistics also dictate our next moves. What ad is working? What's not working? Because how you also create the ad makes all the difference. Because one ad in this region may work excellent, and one ad in another region may not work. I mean, the ads that I thought would never work gave us the best results, and vice versa. Okay? So remember this. You have to help your digital marketer create content. And one of the most important things that you want to do when you doing digital marketing, you want to make sure your potential leads look at the culture of your school. Your digital marketer can come up with generic ads, using this and that. But this is where your involvement has to happen. It's crucial. You got to provide content you want your customers to see. And it's very important, your own culture. That means your own students, your own uniform, your own brand, and your own dojo is in your ads. Does that make sense? Okay. For example, there's this one mom I have. She's an influencer. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use her child for all my ads because she's an influencer. She's gonna take my ad and freaking copy paste it to all her friends. Look at Johnny. Perfect example of free multiplication, multiplying your presence. You understand what I'm talking about? Okay. All right. And, or little, it doesn't always have to be an offer ad. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm Grandmaster Park. Here's tip one to help your child. Pay attention. This little tip. Check this out. Boom. Make sure your child looks at your eyes every time they talk to you and your friends and others. This will increase your child's attention span immediately. Eye contact. Grandmaster Park, Park Taekwondo. Thanks for watching. Tips like that. Gaining trust. Okay? Gaining a credibility. Okay, so they don't always see an offer ad. Okay, become the authority martial artist in your town. Putting ads like get comfortable with getting in front of the camera. I mean, it's so easy to produce powerful 10-second content, things that we teach to children. Hey, parents, you know what's one of the best habits kids have? Say, yeah, what, huh? Replace that with yes, mom, excuse me, and thank you. Okay, how powerful is that? Okay, instead of saying yeah, replace it with yes. Instead of say huh, replace it with excuse me. These are some powerful habits that can teach your child and increase their self-esteem. Till next time, Grandmaster Park. Thanks for watching. Huh? Am I making sense here? So this is how you have to work with Logan to really start. That's why it's a campaign. Oh yeah, I advertised with Logan for about 6 months. It didn't work out for me. I didn't get a lot of students. Oh yeah, I did that with so and so. It didn't. That's the wrong mindset to have. Another thing. How many of you are aware of what Logan just said? Customer acquisition costs. Oh, okay, fine. Let me reverse that. And then once you understand your pattern, okay, because I'm the only person that understands that pattern, okay, of how social media presence and how it's impacting, okay, not Logan because he's not in your school. Once you start understanding that pattern, then you educate your team member or Logan and start designing ads and campaigning, around that. Sometime, we found it like little 3 to 5 year old girls in uniform, hiya, jumping jacks, doing that works perfectly. Okay, you get more response than some of the picture ads, that we saw. Okay, testimonial ads are powerful too. Okay, have these little one student underneath say courtesy, and another little to say modesty, and another one saying integrity. Perseverance, self-control. Okay, and then at the end, all those kids bowing to you. These are the values of our school. See how we can teach these to your children. Okay, things like that. So you got to create. You also, very important, you want to educate the culture of your school to your community through digital marketing. Does that make sense? Okay. So by consistently doing digital marketing, putting ads out into the social media, you want to also educate your community what your brand is all about, what your why is, what your message is. And I hope you guys all have a student creed and a black belt creed, for that reason, because that's a core philosophy of a successful martial arts school. And you want to brand that, okay? You want to let community know that you are a self-improvement academy using the philosophy of martial arts to change lives. And that message has to be consistent in your marketing campaign. And only you can create that culture and relay that to Logan and his team so they can create a campaign around that. Okay? Because some schools are not. I mean, there are MMA schools that are dedicated to just cage fighting, and they're not going to show that culture. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of BJJ schools focus more on adults than kids. Okay, so whatever culture of your school is, make sure that is expressed clearly through your ads and through your value ads too. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm sorry, Logan. Go ahead.
That's fine. You actually you skipped ahead to the part that we all really care about and should be and need to be measuring, which is how much does it cost to get somebody to sign up? How much does it cost to get a member? What is our customer acquisition cost? It's very easy to calculate that. How much did I spend divided by how many members did I get? How much did I spend divided by how many members did I get? And so what this number tells you is how much can I spend early on if you're Grandmaster Park and you're in his situation, you may be able to spend more than what you make up front to get a customer. And that's okay to have to do that, right? As long as you understand how long is it going to be. It's just like a regular investment. How long till I get my money back, right? What we want for all of our customers is to be profitable up front. GMP, how much do you when you sign somebody up, what do they typically pay all in to get started? Gear packages, the whole thing. GMP?
Oh, me? Oh, you talking to me? I think you're talking to someone else. Me. Okay, I'll quickly explain. Okay, my second part of my funnel. Okay, when they come in, when they show up, all right. I mean, I can't go through the whole thing because it's drawn out. All right. We instantly do things. There's protocols that we do. Okay, we don't greet them and say hi. We say welcome to Parks. We're happy that you're here. You must. What's your name? Okay, or depending on how you book appointments, we do multiple appointments, so it's difficult sometimes to know the customer coming in. But some of you guys maybe just do one at a time. Get to know them. Proper greeting. And what we do is we usually give a little toy instantly to the child. Okay, kids love toys. This is the jumping jacks. Woo-hoo. Okay, so by stepping the training, it's to give them a toy. Okay, that builds instant result. Can you tell me your name? Okay, so by building rapport with the child, that really makes parents happy. Okay, so that's the little things. So then we do a lot of other things, and then we take them on a whole tour of the school. Okay, because here at headquarters we do have a beautiful facility, but even though you have a smaller facility, you can still tour the school. Now you may go out to your dojo, you're looking around, and go, what am I gonna do? You know what? Think of it from a customer point of view. Okay, what they would like to hear. And some of the things a lot of martial artists don't like to do is brag, talk about themselves or school. You know what? Aesthetically, set your school up so you can do a tour. Okay, so you can take them different, because the $29 for 4 weeks includes a uniform. Like I said, it's just a bait to get them in. Okay, and when they come in, we do a whole different. So after we do a nice tour, and during the tour, it's a storytelling tour too. Okay, storytelling tour. All right. And then we bring them to the reception, and then we continue. We tell them about our program, and we tell them about our initial, evaluation program, and we tell them how much the tuition is. Okay, how much the enrollment cost is. Okay, how much the equipment is, and this is how much to join. Okay, and tell them that our trial offer, which is the ad you saw, okay, it's only 4 classes, and they wear a t-shirt for a class. But if you like, so your child can join in their official karate suit and become a student. If you enroll on your visit today, we will give you 50% off. So instead of paying the $189, it's only $98. And instead of paying the $99 enrollment fee, we will waive that for you completely. And our equipment package is $69. Today, it'll only be $29. So for only $149, you get to become a regular student. Your child will go out there with the official karate suit, and their classes will count it towards their rank advancement. Okay. So, we used to do free class. How many of you do free class? How many of you do free class? Okay. We did that for a while, and here's a challenge with the free class, in my opinion, from what we experienced. How many of you remember I always talk about there's 2 types of kids? 2 types of kids. Logan, there are 2 types of kids. Say it.
Crazy and shy.
That's right. Shy or crazy. Okay. So when you give a free class trial, first of all, they're going to go in without a uniform in their plain clothes. Okay. So they're the only kid or 2 where the other entire kids have a karate suit and a belt. They're in there with their clothes they came in. So think about how a shy child will feel. Okay. So now they're doing all these moves because 50% of the kids that come in will be shy. So basically, we're losing 50% of enrollment. Okay. Because shy kids will not have a good experience on a free class unless you really have it scientifically down where they're going to have the experience, which you have to give a lot of one-on-one attention. And in my school, we can't do that because of the population of classes. Okay. And the parent is watching the shy child, and a lot of shy kids, when you put them in an environment they're not familiar with, how's their face? Like this, having a good time? Or are they going to be like this? They're going to look lost, and they're going to try to do the moves that they've never done. The parents going to be, after moving out, they're not going to have a good experience. So emotionally, the parents going to be already crippled after the class. So that's why we stopped doing free classes. Okay, because our enrollments, and also by doing this 50% off and no enrollment registration fee, it's increased our enrollment. And also we do something really cool, like a week before the regular tuition is due. You can kind of use your common sense to see what that is, because who are the decision makers of the household at the end of the day? Who are the decision makers of the household? Kids, basically kids. Let me tell you something. When my Lila goes, "Daddy," I go, "Yes." She'll be watching iPad, and she'll go speak Hatchimals, and she'll watch Hatchimals. She goes, "Daddy," I go, "Yeah, honey." She goes, "I want this. Can you give me this?" And I go, "Yes, honey." And I'll open Amazon and I'll go Hatchimals. So there it is. Okay, because kids are ultimately the decision makers. So like a week before the regular tuition is due, we do something so cool. The kid is so pumped because mom knows the next month the full tuition of $189 kicks in. And right before that kicks in, you know what the mom's gonna say? "Lila, you like karate?" And you better make sure that answer is yeah, because they'll let that through. If they're like, "Yeah," "You sure you like karate?" I'm like, "I don't know," then you're done. You're dead at the water. Okay. So that's part of my funnel. Now, part is the all lower part of the funnel. Okay, it's something that you have to. I hope you guys all have SOPs, because On the top of the funnel, Logan's doing, this is a lot of work. And this is where Logan comes in play. Second, the offer, okay? And then third, set appointment, show up, enroll, attend, upgrade, referral. But here's a challenge, okay? Here's a challenge. In between, okay? In between this, okay? And then in between this, there's a gap, and they all fall through. Okay? They all fall through. All right? Logan does a great job bringing the leads in and the offer, okay? And they even set the appointment. And then from there on, Logan's gone. He does his job. Rest of the funnel, it's up to you, okay? Because if they set an appointment and they don't show up, what do? You do your due diligence of calling them, texting them, and after a while, if they ghost on you, relationship ends, right? That is actually the worst mistake that you can do, because Logan is bringing all these leads in and collecting the most important thing in the world of marketing, which is called data, which is email and cell phone numbers. That is gold. Let me tell you something. Companies that collects that, and over the years they have millions and millions of emails and phone numbers, they turn around and sell that for millions of dollars. Why? Because whatever that company sells or provides services for, and they have millions and millions of email, those people initiated a contact. They opted in. OPTIN, opt-in. When a lead opts in and goes into your database, they become a qualified potential customer. Does that make sense? Okay, so the company will do due diligence and the relationship will end, which is a typical martial arts school. And that is a huge mistake, because sometimes the lead comes in and they won't take the offer. Why? They're just not ready. They're interested, but they're not really interested to take some kind of next action, okay, which is the offer, okay? And then sometimes they'll take the offer, but they're just not quite ready to set an appointment. So you do your due diligence and all that, okay? Sometimes they'll set the appointment and they won't show up. They won't show up, okay? You called, you texted, and nothing. They ghost on you, and then the relationship ends, okay? And that is the biggest mistake that school owners make. You need something called a lead management fishing vessel, like a commercial fishing vessel. Every time Logan generates a lead, I want you to think about him, what he did for you in that big fishing vessel of yours. He took a fishing pole that had a fish it on and put it on your vessel. And after a period of time, okay, and this is why it's called a marketing campaign. You want to collect thousands and thousands and thousands of fishing pole on your vessel, because as soon as you get them on the hook, that fishing pole that Logan put on your vessel is doing this. It's doing this. The only problem is he or you as a school owner, you just don't know how long that fishing line is. You just don't know. But you want to keep doing this. You want to have more and more fishing poles, thousands and thousands and thousands of fishing poles. Because after a while, you know what happens? When they start doing this, they start coming in. That is called a nurturing campaign. That is called, how many of you heard of that word, nurturing campaign? How many of you heard of that? Okay. Nurturing campaign is something that has to be done technologically. Okay. And every funnel, okay, every part of the funnel requires a different set of actions and content. Okay? When a lead comes in, they don't take an offer. You want to send a specialized content to push them to the next funnel. And the next phase, same thing. Okay? And for those of you, how many of you are Spartans here? Okay? How many of you also have Spark Ignite? Spark Ignite. If you have Spark Ignite, you have that fishing vessel I'm telling you about. This is why Mama and Spark Ignite works yin and yang together. Because Mama, Logan's side, will bring in that fishing pole with the fish hooked on it. Okay, and that vessel is your Ignite. Okay, that's where David Tender's written specialized content for each phase and is constantly grilling them. And then over the years, you're going to collect thousands and thousands of emails that is constantly getting worked on, constantly being reeled in. And then one day, Johnny's little brother, Logan, got bullied, came home with a black eye, and mom's gonna be like, that's it. You're gonna start learning some self-defense. Oh, where's that karate school that's always sending me that email? Boom. That's how you stay relevant. Okay? So it's very important to do that. And second thing, you have to have a very powerful website. You got to have a website that generates traffic and leads. And if you're an Ignite member, I hope you have the Ignite Pro website. Because listen, when we decided to have a website, I was like, oh, because I'm a school owner. I had a working website that produced good amount of leads, which was Market Muscle. I was like, oh man. And then of course I get that phone call from Steven, hey, Grandmaster, I got to let you go. I understand. So switched over to the Pro website. Now, years later, it's producing 30% more leads according to our statistics, about 28. And then it's less clicks and it's faster to get to the places. That's what my staff, have told me. And that's also kind of similar feedback I've gotten from a lot of Spartans that the website produces more than their previous ones they've had. All right. So that's basically my funnel, guys. Okay. And of course, as you go more towards bottom of the funnel, especially when you get to the part, of, the attendance, this all has a curriculum, and then the upgrades. This right here is my main muscle. This is my strength. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to have an event soon, just dedicated entire weekend on this area. This area is what has made my school so successful. I mean, I've told multiple times that, listen, we're not one of those like 400 or 500 student schools, but we generate income of a 400 or 500 schools with half the student body, And I believe Logan put up some statistics from last month, and I've been putting it up too for the last several months just to show you, to be transparent. I mean, like I said, our average school has 250 to under 300 active students. We gross 660 to 100,000 a month consistently, and I've displayed that. Okay, and the reason that is because we have a powerful upgrade system. In order to have a powerful upgrade system, it's not about having Black Belt Club, Leadership Quest, or Saturday Fight Club. This itself is an entire culture. It's an entire culture behind that. Like I said, that could be an entire weekend event. But that is our entire funnel. And the most important part, of course, is the top. None of the bottom of the funnel can exist without the very top. Okay. And the very top is where Logan does his thing. Now, lastly, we talked about customer acquisition costs. Guys, it's a no-brainer. Okay. It's a no-brainer. If it costs you $100 to get a student, that's a no-brainer. Because you know the ROI is going to be tremendous. Digital marketing is not an expense. It's not spending. It's not an expense and it's not spending. It is an investment. And we invest into our future. We invest because the ROI is greater. Okay, and that is exactly the mindset that you guys need to have. You're hiring a digital marketing company. Oh God, I got to spend a couple thousand more a month. How am I going to do that? I might have to get rid of my truck. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I might have to get rid of my Porsche. No, don't do that. But it's not an expense. Don't think about that. Okay. Actually, if you're not spending 1,000 or 2,000 a month, you're behind the 8 ball. Okay. Keep that in mind. You're basically not putting that ad in the Yellow Pages book that still exists today. It's just not tangible. It's just not a book anymore. It's the screen that you're staring at. All right. Well, that's it for me. Any questions? Yeah, we're supposed to take questions now, right, Logan? Hey, one of the things that I really appreciate Logan, he brings to our attention, because listen, customer acquisition cost changes. It changes all the time. And depending on how it changes, that's the ad that's making that resulting that customer acquisition cost. Okay. And that's why we, constantly change our ad with how much we're paying customers. I mean, 1 week we'll go from like $25 to $75. We're like, what the heck's going on? Oh, this one ad is really costing a lot to run. So we'll quit that and run something else. We'll go back to the one that was. So, so this is, very, very important part of digital marketing. Question from, what are the pros and cons of doing paper class versus monthly based tuition? Well, I don't know about where you're at. Here in South Florida, everybody's freaking busy doing so many things. I have kids that play like 4 different sports. So statistically here in South Florida, minimal, it's like 2.5. So if you do paper class, I think you're limiting your income because you're codependent on student attendance. Okay, versus if you have a monthly tuition every 5th of the month, boom, boom, boom. Okay, you can predict your income better. Okay, you can also gauge a lot of things based on that. So I don't know, in my opinion, I mean, it all depends on your culture too. But in my opinion, majority of the martial arts school do monthly tuition, and not even monthly. That's time. Time membership is something I don't believe in. Time membership is something we don't do here at all. We are a goal-oriented school and we offer courses. And that's the culture that we built in our schools. What is your attendance requirement? Our attendance requirement is minimum of twice a week. Any other questions? Thanks for putting this together.
Dan asked if you do contracts.
Yes. I mean, it's not so much contract. First of all, everybody should have a contract. It's called a membership agreement. And in that agreement, you got to have a lot of general things in there, waiver for liability, that you can take pictures and advertise on social media. Make sure you have that clause in there too, okay? If a student enrolls and goes, well, you can't take a picture of my child and put it on social media, we will actually say, I'm sorry, then, we probably recommend another martial arts school, because I'm not going to sit there and freaking weed through hundreds of pictures and make sure Logan is not in the picture. Okay. All right. So, that's any other question? I work for Chris Pye. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm just kidding.
I have a question.
Chris. Okay. Chris Pye is that's actually my senior Grandmaster Thomas Pye's son. I'm like his uncle. Hey, what was that question? It went away. I didn't get to read it.
We've been making changes recently. Best thoughts on giving prices over the phone versus in person? Some are persistent on getting answers.
Listen, be front with them. Say, hey, listen, I want to say monthly, just break it down per class. You know what I mean? Just say our tuition is competitively priced. Our lessons is about $29 per lesson. But I'm going to be very transparent, honest with you. If you're price shopping, we're probably not the martial arts school for you. Let me direct you to the least expensive school in town, which will be probably the city rec center. But I also heard that Logan Snyder's karate charges like per class like $10 or something. Yeah, tell them straight up. Plus if they're price shopping, those are not the students you want in a class, in your school. Okay, they're always going to be harping on you on this, harping on that, give me a discount, blah blah blah. Those are not the type of people you want to build your school with. Okay, if they're price shopping around, I wouldn't do it. Just tell them, hey, listen, if you're looking for best value and you're also looking for martial arts school, because one of the things I would advise you, martial arts school can make an impact on your child's character. Okay, I would take the time, visit it. Okay, see the instructor, the reputation, how long they've been in the community, see the school, nice cleanliness, this and that, and then decide. But if you're price shopping, looking for the cheapest school, you pay for what you get. How many months are they committed to their first membership? 7 months. And then at the first belt, we upgrade them. Okay, 2 most important times to upgrade student is their first belt and their black belt. If they pay in full, what do you mean by that? Yeah, we get people pay in full, definitely. You want to see a pay in full? Let's see. Pay in full, where is it? Oh, check this out. Pay in full. Pay in full. Can you guys see that?
A little hard.
There.
Oh, there it is.
How much does that say?
25 G's.
One of the things I want to also tell you guys, in order to start generating a happy income that you'd be happy with, you got to start thinking that you can get checks like this. Okay. Some people can't even fathom getting a $10,000 check, $5,000 check. If you can't even imagine or fathom that, you're never going to get it. Okay. You're never going to get it. How you think is how you feel. Whatever you think exudes out to what you're doing. All right. Listen, I'll be honest with you. This is something I've learned many years ago. Okay. When I started seeing this, I'm like, holy cow. Okay. Because nothing's original. It's all learned from someone. And when I started seeing the school owner get this kind of money, I was like, it was a paradigm shift. So you got to have that paradigm shift if you want to start really getting course-orientated, paid in fulls like this, okay? It can be done. I have a special guarantee I'd like to make everyone. Logan Snyder. Logan.
Yes, sir.
What's this guarantee?
I'd like to make a guarantee on the for anybody who's not a client with us currently. If you're a client with us, hit me up. But if you're not currently a client with us, Grandmaster Park talked about the customer acquisition cost. And I think that if a school owner can generate new members for less and make more upfront than what it costs them to get the member, you are no longer constrained to a marketing budget. You can reach your goals. You can now scale any of your campaigns. If let's say you spend $1,000 on ads and you sign up 10 members, 1,000 divided by 10 is $100. Grandmaster Park, you said you make $149 up front earlier. So you spend $100 to make $149 in a relatively short amount of time. We want to continue doing that over and over and over and over again. So I'd like to make a special guarantee I'm actually going to share my screen here real quick. So this is our stats tracker. We track all of our stats. We actually now require this from our team to track our clients' stats. Okay. And so here's a dashboard showing all of these stats combined and averaged out. This is, if you're wondering, what does the average client achieve working with a marketing agency? These are our average client stats. Over 133 locations, our average right here, average cost per new member, $69.70. Okay. $69.70. So if you can spend $69.70 or $100 to make, Grandmaster Park said 149 earlier, to make 149, you have a scalable campaign. And a lot of you are already here, are already doing that. You're already profitable upfront. I know because I talk to a lot of you, and you're just missing the scale part. And that's what we do. So I'd like to guarantee that we'll help you get new members at a profit upfront, or I'll work for free for you until we do. I think it's a very
Keep in mind, guys. I mean, listen, spend 100. Your initial payment is 149, so you make 50 bucks. No, that's actually not true. 50 bucks, that's not true. It's thousands of dollars. To me, it's thousands of dollars, because once I get them through the door, I know their survival rate, their longevity rate, and I know dollar amount that's going to turn into. And that is not $50. It's thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. Okay? Norma, did you have a question? All right, great.
I put a link in the chat. If you want to learn more about that offer, I put a link in the chat, bookwithlogan.com. We'll have a short conversation. I'll go over your numbers with you, what you're currently doing, where you're currently at, and I'll share with you what we're doing. I'll share I'll go more into the stats board that I showed you just a minute ago. And we'll use that to come up with a game plan for you with that guarantee offer. That getting new members profitably up front is where many of you are. And if you can do that, I'm telling you, my team is on here. We do this every day. If you can do that, then you can grow to whatever you can. If you want 20 new members a month, it's just math. We just have to measure it. And that's what we do. And we'll help you get there. So
listen, numbers don't lie. The biggest advice I can give you guys is, listen, if you're not part of the yellow page ad in the World Wide Web, which is digital marketing, you're behind the 8 ball. Okay? If you don't have a digital marketing in process, you're behind the 8 ball. Matter of fact, if you've never done digital marketing or hired a professional to do digital marketing, when he turns that ad on, you can get a flood of leads, because it's a source of marketing you've never done, okay? And your community probably has not been exposed to it unless you have a super school like WA in the area taking up all the leads coming in, okay? You will get immediate impacted result. I remember years ago, when just years ago, when just was barely starting, my brother kind of, he knew a little bit, so he did a testing for me, and man, the amount of leads that came, I was like, holy cow. And then, of course, after time, it dwindles down, it becomes strategic. And that's where an expert like Logan, comes in and does it. Okay, so listen, whether it be Logan, whether it be, somebody else, this company, that company, I implore you guys to use a professional digital marketing and make that a permanent part of your operating your school. All right, guys? Any other questions? All right. Well, it's been awesome. if you're watching this on replay, please hashtag replay. And my last message for every one of you, listen, whether you're a Spark member or not, hit me up. Reach out to me with any question and I will get back to you. All right. Okay, that's about it, guys. Anything else, Logan?
No, sir. Thank you very much for jumping on.
All right. For those of you, sparkmembership.com, if you want to check out Spark. Of course, I had to do a plug. You know how that goes. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Okay. Make it a great week. Bye.
See you.